We're going to go ahead and start today's class. Wherever you are, go ahead and find a comfortable seated position near the front of your mat. Maybe you're seated on your shins. Maybe you're crisscross applesauce. Whatever feels comfortable and right for you today. I invite you to close the eyes here, helping strengthen that mind-body connection as we get in touch with our physical bodies from the top of our heads to our smallest toes. The hands can either ground down on your upper thighs if you're looking for a little bit more inner stability today, or you can flip them up towards the sky in a position of receiving if you're looking for a little bit of inspiration, motivation. Either is fine. I want you to take a big, deep breath in through your nose, down into your low belly. Like you're inflating that belly like a balloon. Taking it to the brink and then holding it for a few seconds in that contraction before letting the breath slowly leave the body with control back out through the nose or mouth. The breath should be slow and controlled and steady, exploring every millimeter of this energy in and energy out, as well as the sensations that accompany each part of the breath. This style of breathing accomplishes a couple of different things. One, it grounds us in the present moment by helping us focus on something sensory, something that is the inhale, the hold, and the exhale, the way it interacts with our body, as opposed to following our minds to our to-do lists, to whatever comes next, or reflecting on the past. This breath also helps regulate the nervous system, telling us that we're away from the stress, if only for 30 minutes. And as long as we can stay present in this space, we allow our bodies to feel safe, seen, and held. Particularly your exhale will allow the nervous system to relax. We tend to hold our breaths during stress, breathe shallow, quick. Elongating the breath, and particularly that exhale, lets the body know we're not running from a predator. There's nothing immediate in front of our face. We can relax. We're safe. Take another deep breath in through the nose. Make it as slow as possible. Holding your breath when you make it to the top for 3, 2, 1. And then slowly allowing that breath to fully release back out through the nose. Little constriction in the back of the throat. Let it go until you reach the bottom. On your next inhale, I invite you to take your hands out to your sides and then lift them up overhead, bringing the palms together. Exhale them down to the heart, chin bows to chest, setting your intention for today's flow. What is something that you'd like to dedicate your practice to today? What do you need? What do you want? In your next inhale, send the hands back up overhead. And as you exhale, take the right hand to the left knee, look over that back shoulder in a twist. Today we're going to be focusing on the core and the back, building a little bit of strength, while also getting some stretch. So So let's warm up this area. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the other side. Exhale into that twist. Inhale back to center, lift all the way up. And as you exhale, spread the fingertips wide and pull the elbows back behind you. Open the chest, squeeze the back. Inhale, lift. And exhale, roll the wrists down to your sides. We're going to roll up over the knees here, coming into an all fours position. And as always, we're going to explore movement here. So connect into the body with whatever movement feels good and right and true for you. Explore where there's tension, where there might be pain. Maybe you get a couple little pops and cracks. Let the body speak to you and give it something that it needs. Because how often do we allow ourselves to feel silly and uncontrolled? Not often. Sometimes it's exactly what we need. Find stillness now, rooting your wrists directly below your shoulders, your knees directly below your hips. Pull your belly button into your spine. Let your heart shine forward. Take a big deep breath through your nose. And as you exhale, tuck the pelvis underneath of you, round through the back, drop your chin to your chest. And then as you inhale, let the heart and tailbone lift as the belly drops towards the ground. Exhale one vertebrae at a time. Lift that spine, tuck the tailbone, curl the chin. And inhale. Drop the belly. Big stretch. Press your shoulders away from your ears. Move through that cat-cow sequence a couple of times to the beat of your own breath. Noticing the way that the body responds here. What's going on with the back? What's going on with the core? And then when you're ready, go ahead and meet in neutral. We're going to go ahead and take our weight into our right side, taking the left foot back behind us, squaring the pinky toe down into the earth, spread the toes. Make sure the hip is facing into your mat, so we're not opening up. Keep it nice and firm. We're then going to, if you have the stability, extend the opposite hand out in front of us. Deep breath. Blow it out. And then as we inhale in, we're going to tap. Exhale, lift. We're going to move through this a few more times, making sure that we're keeping that pinky toe squared into the mat. You should feel your shoulder engage, your glute, your core, keeping you aligned. Last one. And then go ahead and find their all fours position. Sink your tailbone onto your heels. Reach your fingertips out in front of you. Gently roll one vertebrae at a time. Back to the start position, all fours. Bring your core in, belly button to spine, and this time we shift over to the left, taking the right leg back behind us. Make adjustments. Make sure that that hip is rotated down. We spread the toes a lot. Make sure the pinky toes rotated down. And then if you have the stability, go ahead and bring that opposite hand out in front of you. Big deep breath in. Exhale, blow it out. And inhale. Tap. Exhale, lift. Keep that form the entire time. Make little adjustments if you need to. Make sure that you're in the right position. The core is engaged, the back's engaged. Shoulder, glute. Last one. Back to neutral, sink it back. Reach the fingertips out in front of you. Roll up one vertebrae at a time. Back into your all fours position. We're going to come back over to the left side. So shooting that foot back behind us. And we're going to also bring the opposite hand out. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to pull the elbow to the knee, rounding through the core, and then lift out. We're going to move through this, really, really crunching through the core every single time, keeping the belly button pulled in, strong through the shoulder. We're working on the core and the back. Two more. Hold at the top. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and release. Sink it back. Reach your fingertips out in front of you. Allow the shoulders to rest. Steady your breath. And then slowly roll one vertebrae at a time. Back to your start position. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Repeating on the other side. We shoot the right foot back, make sure you're in position. And then the left hand moves out in front. Deep breath in. Exhale, crunch elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Become aware of your form. Become aware of your core, your back. It's okay to go through this nice and slow. Last one, reach out and hold for 3, 2, 1. Release, take your knees wide this time, the big toes together, sink it back into child's pose. Reach your fingertips forward, release your forehead. Feel the hips open, feel the back stretch, feel the side body. Reach your fingertips a millimeter farther forward. Rock your forehead side to side. Deep breath in. Exhale, walk your fingertips over to the right side of the room. Taking your left hand over your right. Keeping the heels grounded onto the glutes. If you can't get there, that's fine. Just try not to twist open through the low body. The stretch should be coming from the side body. Try to relax into the stretch. Slowly walk the fingertips back to center. And exhale over to the other side, this time taking the right hand over the left. Same thing, send your breath into your side body. Breathe. Walk your fingertips back to center. Big reach forward. And then roll one vertebrae at a time. Back into an all fours position. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Curl your toes under. Walk your hands one palm's length in front of you. Flipping the toes, shining the heart forward. We're going to lift the knees and then send the heart towards the upper thighs. Begin to pedal out the feet here in downward facing dog. Keep in mind, always in down dog, you should have a little micro bend in your knees. The goal to stretch the back of the legs is not to lock the knees, but to allow gravity to allow the heels to drop towards the ground. So the shoulders engage. Find stillness now. Inch your tailbone a little bit closer towards the sky, deep stretch on the back of the legs, and then allow the heels to drop with gravity. Inhale, your left heel will reach up towards the sky. And then point the toe, open the hip up. Exhale, step it through between the hands and low lunge. Release the top of your shin and lift the body all the way up. Stack top of your head over your pelvis, and then allow yourself to sink forward ever so slightly, creating a deep stretch through the front of that hip flexor. Slowly fold over that front leg, take the back toes into the mat, lift up, and then step back to plank. Holding for 3, 2, 1, find downward facing dog. Inhale once again, left heel up. Pinky toe square, then open the toe, open the hip. As you exhale, I want you to take the knee forward between the hands in plank, and then lift all the way up, single leg dog. Exhale, take that knee now to the elbow, the outside of the elbow, same side. Lift up, single leg dog. Go ahead and set that foot down, downward facing dog now. Release the shins, come down into Vinyasa. Shoulders, core, back, warming things up. Roll up one vertebrae at a time, back into your all fours position, flip the toes, send the tailbone up, downward facing dog. Inhale, right heel lifts, square pinky toe, engage glute, then point the toe, open the hip, single leg dog. Exhale, pull all the way through, low lunge, release the left shin. Align that knee over the second toe, and then lift your heart and sink down into it. Try to make sure that the hips are squared. So this left hip should pull forward a little bit, while the right hip pulls back. Get in the good position for that deep hip stretch. Now we do this because, even though we're doing core and back, this muscle that runs down the front of your body needs a little love for your core to turn on properly. Exhale, fold over that front leg, flip the left toes, lift up, and then step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right heel lifts, square hip, and then point the toe, open the hip all the way up. As you exhale, pull that knee forward between the hands in plank, and then find single leg dog, press back. Exhale, knee to the outside of the elbow, press back, single leg dog. Set that foot down, downward facing dog, and then release the shins, find Vinyasa. Slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. And once again, flip the toes, find downward facing dog. Breathe into this, into the back. Inhale, roll, ripple the body forward into plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last time, inhale, ripple forward. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down to the ground. Release the legs. Hands underneath the shoulders. Release the legs. Inhale, baby cobra. Hover the hands if you can. Feel the core and back engage. Exhale, release. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, release. Go ahead and take the arms out in front of you now. Separate the legs ever so slightly. Roll the hips into the earth just to create some release. We're going to move into a variation of a Superman. Deep breath in through the nose. As you exhale, lift the legs, lift the arms, and then release down. Move through this a few more times, squeezing the muscles of the back, the muscles of the legs, every time you lift. Two more. Release. Take the arms back behind you, the big toes together. We're going to interlace the hands, rolling the shoulders down and back, making sure that the legs squeeze tight. When we exhale, we're going to lift up, squeezing the legs, reaching back with those hands. Can you lift a little more? Two more breaths. Exhale, release. Take the hands out in front of you. Give yourself a little rest. Whichever ear to the top of those hands. Gently roll to one side, onto the side of the body, taking the knees up into kind of a fetal position. And we're going to gently press ourselves up and roll onto our backs. Knees stay up towards the sky. From here, we're going to take the legs to a tabletop position. So flexing through the feet, the legs should be at 90 degrees. And then we're going to take our arms up towards the sky at the same time, pressing the shoulder blades down into the earth, as well as our low back. So contract the core here. Breathe here for just a few moments. Feel that contraction as you press your low back into the earth while still trying to maintain your breath. If this is enough tension for you, stay here. If you'd like to take this a little bit farther, I invite you to inhale as you take your right hand down at the same time as your left heel, and then all the way back up. We're then going to switch sides, trying to keep that contraction back into the earth the entire time. And come down. Like a little march. Building core strength here, while also breathing. Couple more. One more each side. Take your knees into the chest, give yourself a little hug, roll back and forth. Massage that low back. Keep your left knee in your left hand as you extend your right leg out flat. And then you're going to grab that left knee with the right hand and gently glide it over to the side of the room, keeping your shoulder blades flat into the earth here in this spinal twist. Your gaze should be over that left hand. Shoulder blades flat. Imagine the spine being wrung out like a towel. What tension do you need to let go of? Slowly take that knee back to center and give it a little squeeze towards the same side armpit and then let it go. Bringing now the right knee in towards the body, grabbing it with the left hand and gently guiding it over to the left side of the room, keeping your shoulder blades into the ground. Explore the difference between sides. Is one side easier for you, harder? Just make some mental notes. As you continue with your practice, you should see improvements in your weaker sides, your tenser sides. Slowly pull that knee back into center and then over to your right armpit. Quick little stretch here. And then release it towards the wide edge of your mat. Allow your arms to hang loose at either side. Walk your shoulder blades down away from your ears. Loosen the neck. Take some time to sink in to Shavasana, integrating your practice today. Come back to your intention that you set at the beginning of class. And do some reflective work as you also stay grounded in all five senses. What's happening in your body right now? What thoughts want to cross your mind naturally? I'm going to come around and spray a little bit more of the essential oil. I'll wake you up shortly. one last deep inhale in through your nose. And exhale, feel the release move all the way down from the top of your head to the base of your feet. As you feel ready and begin to wake up the body. Maybe you take your hands over your head, your big toes together, stretch in opposite directions. Maybe you just want to give a little tap to the areas that need awakening, whatever feels good. This is your time to feel good. Say thank you to yourself for showing up today, giving yourself the gift of mindfulness and movement. As you feel ready and led, you can make your way into a seated position or simply begin to pack up your stations. But thank you for joining me for class today. As always, it's an honor to serve as your instructor. Namaste. As a little verbal reminder, registration for the next round of classes is open. We will be continuing on with our practice just on a different day. So we'll be meeting on Mondays and Wednesdays. And then I'm also hosting a Tuesday, Thursday yoga class in the evenings at 4:30 p.m. So if you want to get more in your schedule, feel free to join me for that class as well. Thank you, guys.